Hello everyone and welcome to the November edition of Grafton Minute by Minute, a magazine that features events that take place right here in the town of Grafton. I'm Bob DeToma. We've got a lot to cover today. Coming up first is a segment featuring ghost hunters. The Grafton Public Library hosted an event where the Paranormal bikers shared their experiences of hunting ghosts in the area.
This photo was taken one evening about 2 years ago at the Precious Blood Cemetery on the Blackstone Woonsocket Rhode Island lines. We were calling out, again, taking digital photographs. Before we even get into this, or I get into this, no one is allowed to smoke. The temperature was warm enough so that it wasn't causing vapor from your mouth as you exhaled. So there was no smoke or breathing vapor that would contaminate this photograph. This anomaly, this mist or what have you, was forming only over this stone. Subsequent photographs that were taken in previous photographs showed nothing. It only showed up in this one photo.
And we have to understand that when we take photographs, we always make sure we take more than one of a particular spot. Like if we usually take at least three. So that way, if it's there in all three, then we say, well, it's something else. But if it's only there in one of the three, then it's interesting, if not paranormal.
Now this is another shot taken in another section of the cemetery that's down near the Harris Pond area, which is the backside of the cemetery. Again, this is Precious Blood Cemetery. This is the Blackstone, Massachusetts side. Again, random photographs taken on the same night. This anomaly shows up, again, no smoking, no breathing vapors from your own mouth or from anyone else that was there. There were only two of us there that night. And this showed up, and again, in a 3-shot sequence, nothing, this, and nothing again. So this anomalous vapor, what have you, you can see it appears as if there's globules within there. And we'll get more into like orb research a little bit later on. But this, again, showed up only in one photograph.
Veterans Day has just passed by recently, and we had an opportunity to capture some video of Grafton's veteran agent as he shared some remarks with veterans recently, and we're happy to share it with you now.
And lastly, I want to make sure that we say, are there any Marines in here today? Hey, all right. Happy belated birthday. I know it was yesterday, but I want to make sure we mention that today. So, I think over this year, maybe a little more than a year, but I've come in contact with over 1,000 veterans, right? So that's a lot of people, and it's really a lot of fun because I get to hear every individual story, and there's a core to all of them, and it's really fun for me because through these conversations, we seem to connect almost automatically, and it took a while to figure out why that was. And I'm not just talking. So I'm an Iraqi vet. I did 2 tours over there, but I can sit down with somebody from Korea, which I did only a couple of months ago, and we sat down and we talked, and we both spent time at Fort Knox in Kentucky. We both climbed the same hills, and we both pretty much wore the same weight on our backs. And I said, well, maybe that's it. But then I met somebody from the Navy, and I don't know anything about ships. And he's like, I'm a machinist mate, and I don't even know what that is, right? So is there any machinist mates in here? Because I see it all the time. Oh, there you are. Right on. So I know it's very loud. I know you work in the engine rooms. I know there's some asbestos and some other nastiness down there, but I really don't know a lot about it. I can't relate to being on a ship. I'm afraid of the water. I'm not a good swimmer. So there had to be something else outside of just our military service that connected us so quickly. And the more I looked into it, the more I started thinking about it. And really, I sit down and I think about it. I stay awake all night. I think about stuff like this. And I started thinking, well, basic training. And that seemed to be the combining factor was basic training. Now, is there any veteran in here who has never gone to basic training? That's right. Right. So we all went there, and I mean, I promise it's Veterans Day. It's a fun day. I really want this to be a good time. This is going to be the only sad thing that I say. When I left, when I joined the Army, I had 2 young children. I was married, and my oldest daughter was about knee height, and I walked her over to her soccer game, and because I didn't want her to miss practice, but I had to leave. I had to go to basic training, and walked her over because I didn't want her to miss it. Gave her the hug goodbye, and I knew I wouldn't see her again for at least 10 months or so. So we gave the hugs, and I left, and she was crying. Very, very difficult. So families, I get it. You know, I know the difficulties that you have. So I went, but as soon as I got into that recruiter's car, he drove me to the airport, got me on the plane, made sure I didn't skip out. Okay. And I was full of confidence. I was completely confident because I did what you do. I studied before I went. We grabbed our stuff and we were scared, we were nervous, we all tried to get out at the same time, we bumped into each other and we shuffled off the bus, and he was loud and he was scary and he was mean, and we just wanted to get away from this guy, right? But when we got outside the bus, he had friends. And he had a lot of friends, and they were all yelling at us all at the same time. Somehow they were yelling at all of us and facing all of us at once. And I don't know how they did it because there was like 50 of us and there was like 4 of them. So they're screaming, they're yelling, and one of them comes up to me, and again, I'm prepared, right? I'm the most prepared out of the bus. And he says, "Oh no, oh no, oh no," which meant, please put your bag over in that pile of bags. And that's not again, I wasn't really sure that I understood. But I said, "Sir, yes, sir." Because that's what I saw in the movies, right? You don't say that in the Army to a drill sergeant. So all of a sudden I have this very large, mean person about 6 inches away from me, screaming in my face. But not only did he hear it, somehow all of these other drill sergeants from all over the place heard it at the same time. So they all came running at me, so I have this one in front of me, and then I have 2 come up beside me, and they're screaming in my ears. And then another one came up in the back of me, but because he's not facing me, he's doing this. So he can go into my left ear, and then he can yell into my right ear. And he can yell into my left ear, then he can yell into my right ear. And it was so scary, and I didn't even know what to do. So I sat there, and I was just like, oh. And he's like, "Don't you know I'm a drill sergeant? I'm not a sir, I work for a living." So, oh my goodness, okay, I don't know what to do. So luckily somebody else made a mistake, and then they all ran after that person. And then I put my bag down. I stood in line like I'm supposed to do, because that's what a good soldier does. So we went from that point, all my confidence drained away, and I had absolutely zero confidence right now. I said, why did I ever volunteer to do this? Everybody who served in the military, did you ever wonder, like, is there any way out of this, like right now? Because I know that first week was really hard for me, because now we just started this time where instead of doing, the 8-hour workday and complain because it's such a long day, now we're doing a 20-hour workday, and we get 4 hours of sleep. Sometimes you get 6 if it's Sunday. You get 4 hours of sleep, and then they wake you up for an hour in the middle of your sleep to make sure that the hallway doesn't catch on fire, and you just walk up and down the hallway and make sure it doesn't catch on fire. It's a brick building, it's not going to catch on fire. But you got to make sure, just in case. You never know. And so I went through basic training like that. And whenever somebody would make a mistake, we would all laugh and be all like, oh, drill sergeants are really going to get him, right? He just made a mistake. But they don't just go after him. They go after you too. Because you should have told him he made a mistake, right? And let me tell you about this. Your fingernails, right? I'm not sure if you know this, but if your fingernails pass that little fatty portion of your finger, that's wrong. That's push-ups, right? So little things like that, even the littlest things. If your socks are supposed to be rolled up and only 4 inches, in there 5 inches, oh, you're gonna run a couple miles for that, right? If your socks are on the left side instead of the right side of your drawer, because everybody else's are on the left side, oh, that's no sleep that night, And so you learn through this punishment, and I say punishment like it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, because what you learn through this is to work together, and that you're all part of this one team. And instead of trying to point out other people's mistakes, you stop doing that. And that's kind of a normal thing to do. When somebody makes a mistake, you go, oh, look what Bob did. I'm so glad I'm not doing that. Now you're looking at Bob and you're saying, oh, Bob's doing something wrong, I better show him how to do it right. Right, and then you start building this team network.
And when we wrap up the month of November, we get closer to Thanksgiving, which means we get 1 day or 2 days closer to that big event in December, and everybody knows what I mean. It's Grafton Celebrates the Holidays, right? Well, Grafton Celebrates the Holidays is a pretty big deal in town. And we sat down with Jen Anderson and Betty Wright of the Rec Department to go over all the details and all the inner workings of this event. And I hope you enjoy it, because I know I did. All right, we're live in Conference Room F at the Municipal Center, and looking at the calendar, we have recently concluded Halloween, and we've just passed Veterans Day, and now we're counting down to the big event, which would be Grafton Celebrates the Holiday. So with me in the conference room are 2 members of the Recreation Department staff, Betty Wright and Jen Anderson, the 2 linchpins in that department, making sure that this all goes off without a hitch. Now that I've said that, you're jinxed.
I was just gonna.
Yeah, knock on plastic. So Grafton Celebrates the Holidays. We want to promote this event. We have an outgoing director, we have an incoming director, and this is your baby.
It's my baby.
Yeah.
I started this in 1996. So it's from just a little get-together, singing on the common, lighting the tree, to what it is now. And it's grown. Every year it grows.
Right. And the day that the planning starts for this takes place when?
August. August. While people are thinking of swimming, we're thinking of snow.
Right. It's like planning for the
But-
Super Bowl.
Right.
Right? Okay.
It's
And that's probably behind. That's probably being behind a little bit in August.
And that's never enough
Yeah,
time.
That's never enough time.
Okay. That sounds
Jen's
good.
learning.
Yeah. And it appears, now I've only been involved in this job and in town a short period of time, but it already appears to me that it has grown significantly.
Considerably.
So from when you started to now, how many stops has it increased, like doubled or 10%?
Oh,
Or
tripled.
tripled?
It used to be called Christmas on the Common,
Okay.
and it was only the businesses on the Common
Mm-hmm.
that participated. Well, then I wanted to include other businesses too, so then we started the Worcester Street part, and then we got South Grafton part, some of the South Grafton, and it just keeps growing and growing.
Wow. Have you been to every stop on the map?
Not every year, no.
But you do go around?
I do go around.
Okay. So what,
I go around and I say, I'm just gonna stop in, say hi,
Mm-hmm.
but then it ends up that I get to greet people, people talk to me, so,
if you try to do that this year, you won't get to the finish line, because you'll probably end up spending a couple hours at each stop. Right?
probably,
Yeah.
probably.
That's the goal, though. I think is for her. She does want to try to hit
I
every
think
stop.
so.
I want-
I think so. Yeah, you should have a selfie at each stop.
Yeah.
And then your day will not end.
No.
So what stops have you not seen that you need to see? Is
I haven't seen the Unibank,
really with the train?
the train, I've not seen the train.
Okay.
I've been to your studio,
Well, you have to go to the new ones at least.
Yeah.
yeah, the new.
So it's a short
A
list.
couple new ones.
It really is a short list. The craft fair, I try to show my appearance there and shop.
See, the craft fair is on my list, because I think the last few years that we've recorded the event,
Yeah.
I need to go this year to the craft fair.
The craft fair.
Because we don't want to do the same thing every year when we do it on TV. We want to, kind
Yeah.
of keep it different. So that's definitely on the hit list, is to get to the craft fair.
And we have that earlier in the it's earlier. It's from 10 to 3. So people that do not go to church can at least go there from 10 to 12, and then the other. And some businesses, you have to look at the brochure. Some businesses are opening earlier than 12 and closing before 4. So there's some different set hours.
So now, if I was Grafton resident and I'm looking at that list and there are banks on the list? And what are the banks gonna do for the holidays?
Home Fields Credit Union does Santa Claus.
Okay,
And we are very, very lucky to get him every year.
the same guy.
It's the same Santa from the North Pole. He goes from Home Fields up to the Common.
Nice.
Yes, so we book Santa way, way ahead.
Mm.
Then they have activities there for the kids. You can get a picture with Santa.
Mm-hmm. Unibank does the train, we already
Unibank
said
does the
that.
train. They're doing, I think, a movie. You can watch a movie if you wish.
Polar Express.
Oh,
Polar
okay,
Express.
that's fitting. And then there's another credit union down in South Grafton.
Right. There we have a clown.
Okay,
He's going to be performing there and at Cuman's
okay.
and that plaza. We also have the alpacas
Okay.
from Grafton
Right,
that will be there.
so the kids can see the
So the
animals.
kids can see that, and
Yeah.
there's things for the kids to do, activities for the kids.
Okay. So before we went on the air, I asked you if there was anything that ever went wrong, and there were two things that took place.
Well, there's more than two now.
Oh, we'll just stick with the two. Go ahead.
Stick with the two.
Yeah, what, why, how many more do you have?
I have like a couple more.
You've had an opportunity to think
I
about it.
had the opportunity to think about it.
All right, lay it on us, go ahead.
Okay, the first one is, we tried the trolleys. I tried trolleys, like Sutton does and like Millbury does.
I'm not familiar with
The
it.
trolley service.
Okay,
Sutton has the trolley. You pick up a trolley at a certain location.
Mm-hmm.
It takes you to some place, and then from there it'll come back and pick you up and take
Oh,
you
okay.
to another stop.
All right.
We tried that.
like if you go to a tourist city or something?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
We tried that. It didn't work.
How come?
I think our stops are too close together,
Mm,
so there wasn't time enough, and people were worried that they were going to miss their ride, and it
Sure,
just
sure.
didn't.
I think there's so many stops and how many trolleys you could really,
catch.
would
Actually.
work, so you would
Right.
get them all.
But
Some logistical
Okay,
stuff, but
so it was one trolley, right?
no, we had 3 trolleys.
Oh, really? And it still didn't work with
They
three?
still didn't work.
Wow.
People were so used to just going to their own locations.
Yeah, yeah,
And spending their own time.
wow. So what else didn't work?
A couple of years ago, the tree didn't light.
Hmm,
That was a
that's a bummer.
that was a big bummer.
Mm.
It had worked all the time till that night, and the tree didn't.
Really? So it worked, testing, and then the big...
Testing.
That happens to us a lot, because we come in and test all this equipment, and then sometimes it doesn't work.
Well, we noticed we.
Yeah,
we
don't
noticed-
bring it up.
Okay, I won't bring it up. I don't ever lie.
I like the clown story.
Oh. Last year we had a clown, and he was supposed to be at the Millbury Credit Union.
Okay,
And I got a call. I was in my office. I was in the office because it was early in the morning. And it's him. And he's in the ambulance on the cell phone, having a heart attack.
it's not funny,
It's
but...
not.
It's not funny, but it was like, I mean, the guy was so apologetic
Yeah,
that it was like, and now
Got the call.
he's coming this year.
He'll be back.
But to call me
yeah.
in the ambulance, and
Yeah.
I could hear the ambulance people
Sure.
saying, "You gotta get off the phone. We've got to put this in."
Yeah.
So that was my funniest moment.
Listen,
But it's-
if you're gonna miss a big event and you're responsible for it, the only way out of it is to have a heart attack. Right?
well,
I think that's the only way you get to make a phone call.
yeah.
And then there was the famous ice storm,
And then there was the ice storm.
and that shut everything down.
It shut yes.
Man.
Some businesses did stay. Some did stay open,
Mm.
but we didn't do the caroling. We just lit the tree.
Wow. Do you
But
have any idea?
otherwise, I think she was saying that that was the only one that has been
Well,
missed in almost
yeah,
20
so
years.
don't
right?
don't wish any.
No, I
And
don't.
I was gonna go look online and see
What the weather
what
was?
the weather forecast is, but I'm sort of scared to. So
You never
I
know.
don't want to be jinxed.
So if it turns out that it's gonna be like 65 or 70 degrees,
I'll be in my shorts.
I was gonna say Santa could show up in like a Hawaiian shirt or
Well,
something.
he could. You never know.
Just play off the warmth. Wow. Anyway. Well.
It has been that. It has been 60 degrees.
Do you have any idea how many people actually kind of circulate through the whole route, or I'm not even sure how you would keep track of that, but
Well, I know there's roughly about 500 to 600 people on the common
when Santa gets there.
when Santa gets there.
Yeah, I think that might be a little low. It seemed like last year that
Yeah,
was.
it's packed.
Like the Unibank and the home fields where they have the trains and Santa and stuff, they've talked about the 400 to 500 range in the course of a day.
Just at that stop.
That
Just
stop.
at those two stops.
Yeah.
But it does depend what activity you kind of have and what is going to interest the kids and where the families are going to be able to go. I'd like to try to reach out to them and see what we think the overall participation number is, but it's got to be hitting
This is really the biggest event that the town has.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really is.
Wow. So when somebody comes forward and says, I would like to have my business, we'd like to take part, do you wait to see what they want to do, or do you offer suggestions what you'd like them to do?
Some
or-
have asked what other people are not doing, but usually I let them decide what they want to do on their own. They usually have an idea.
Have you ever heard the idea and then go, maybe you should try this? Or do you just
I
kind of...
think, well, maybe just some new people.
I mean, sometimes
this year. I
people
think
might
just
come up with a
because we
really
say-
bad idea, right?
It's like, well, someone's already doing that.
Okay.
Just so there's not two of the same things happening. A lot of people do come with their own idea, but I think
Yeah.
some people say, well, because they're not that familiar.
What can I
new
do?
to the town, what is it like? Well, here's kind of what people are doing last year. What can I do?
Because it gears towards
their
their business.
Right.
Because we've got a couple of hair salons that are going to do, I think, some beading for hair. And then there's that
Like Zach's Wax or something. they're gonna
Zach
do.
Wax or something. We're not familiar with it.
I'm certainly not.
Well, I don't think you got enough to work with it.
Thanks. Just throw that
Well,
out
it's
there.
color. I
All right,
guess
that's it. We're done. Cut us off. I have to send this clip to my mother now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure she'd be thrilled. So, other than us talking about this event, it's been posted on the town's Facebook page, right? And what other places other than the rec department Facebook page?
Well, the brochures are going to be distributed to all the participating businesses. We're just starting that, so people can pick those up there. They're going to be inserted into the Grafton News.
Okay.
I think the Thanksgiving weekend. That way, they can download them online at our website, graftonrec.com. And then right now, we're promoting our amazing turkey race, which is going to be a drive around the town, amazing race format challenge on Saturday, November 21st.
Right.
And after that,
And that ties into the big event.
we're leading that up to that now, and then after that is over, then on our Facebook page at Grafton Rec Department, we'll start, doing the full press on Grafton Celebrates the Holidays for those
Right.
2 weeks leading up to the event.
Right.
So they follow us there. We'll be giving different information on different places and what's happening where.
Good. So we should toot our own horn and say that our participation is what we do annually, and that's we open the studio and there's usually refreshments.
Right.
And then Chris and the guys on the staff turn on all the equipment and set up the green screen so the families can come in and do their shout out to family members that are deployed overseas or that type of thing. Or they, the kids run around in front of the green screen and they can send a video to grandma or grandpa, wherever they might be. So, yeah, it's a huge event. You don't really have a grasp for it until you spend the whole day trying to capture it all. And that
Or
fu-
trying to fit it all into
trying to
this brochure.
Right, trying to make it all
this year
work.
we have over 40 stops.
Mm.
That's a lot of places to be,
It's amazing.
but
It
a lot
just-
of fun to have. So.
Yeah, it is just amazing. But it works. I mean, it really does. When you witness it at ground level and you see how it all gets pulled off, it's just amazing.
Like you said, our work is all leading up to the event, and the day of the event is all the people who are participating, and it's their turn to
It's wild. It
shut
is
themselves
wild.
off.
We're hoping to get one of the cameras up at Grafton Common and shooting down onto Santa's arrival, so we have kind of like a different view. So I'm hoping we can pull that off, with addition to the camera on the
I was
ground
gonna say,
too.
where are you gonna Maybe they can use
Well, you
the
have your
ladder.
secrets, and I have ours, you know,
Yeah,
so,
your
it's-
secret-
yeah,
all right,
yeah,
I got
we
my
have,
secrets.
Look out for a drone.
I have a connect, no, we're not gonna do the drone. We have connections, we have connections. We have government connections here at the municipal center, and we're hoping to get into the building.
Well, I have North Pole connections,
I'm-
so, and that's very, very
So now my
important.
connection's bigger than your connection, is that what it is? All right, so that's Grafton Celebrates the Holidays. This is Betty Wright and Jen Anderson from the Recreation Department, and if you haven't participated in this event, you need to go out and do so, because it is cool. Thank you.
I have one more item.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Since this is my last year,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to give Jen
The
the
Santa hat,
Santa hat.
the ceremonial Santa
Sarah
hat.
Lincoln's hat.
Is this where you put it on now?
Thank you, Betty. I will put it on.
Thank goodness, look at that.
That looks good.
All right, the passing of the torch.
That's right,
There it is.
right.
And that wraps up the November edition of Grafton Minute by Minute. I hope you'll come back and join us in December, where I'm sure we'll have plenty of holiday video to share with you. I'm Bob Detoma. Thank you for watching, and good night.